I'm Shain. I am doing a Bible project for my Bible 3 class. I'm a junior. But I'm here to talk to you guys about the Sabbath. Like, who knows what the Sabbath is, right? Well, the Sabbath can be seen in the first book of the Bible, which is Genesis, specifically Genesis 2, 1 through 2. It states, by the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day he rested from all of his work. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So here it tells us that God, when he was creating everything, when it got to the end of the week, he stopped. He said, I'm done. I'm ready to rest. And, it does say the seventh day. We're like, well, maybe he just kind of said that, whatever. But it states it all throughout the text of the Bible. We can go on to Exodus 20:10, which says, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of the Lord your God. And this here tells us that it's not any other day of the week. It's the seventh day, which we all know is Saturday. People ask, well, what's the point of it? It's the memorial of creation. God's like, hey guys, I created all this stuff. Let's get together this week, hang out. Let's party together. I'm ready to see my people. And he also knew that we needed a period of rest. Like, I know I do. I get super stressed. I'm like, tomorrow I have this big test. I'm like, when is it going to get over? I know that I can look forward to Saturday. Because on Saturday, I don't have to do anything. I can hang out with my friends. I can hang out with my family. And I can enjoy time with God. So people have this big issue. Well, what's the big deal? It's just Saturday versus Sunday. So we've always had this big controversy of Sunday versus Saturday. And, people are like, well, so what if I do it on Sunday? I'm still celebrating with God anyway. Well, technically it's the fourth commandment. Those 1 through 10 commandments that Moses gave to us. I think they're called the 10 Commandments. But, that is what tells us that Sabbath is very important to God. It's just as important as not murdering or not having sex with somebody that's not your wife or husband. It's super important to him. And he didn't say it's Sunday. He didn't say it's Monday. He said the seventh day, which is Saturday. He set that apart to be with us, not any other day. And I'm sure it upsets him that we don't spend time with him that on the day that he set apart for us. We pick another day and said, no, God, we want to do this day. He's like, no, I picked this day specifically for you. In Matthew 5:17-19, it says, do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Here, people are like, well, the Sabbath is only for the Jews, right? And he did away with that anyway, so we don't have to do it anymore. But here it tells us, I did not come to abolish the law. I came to fulfill it. So he's not saying, I'm taking away the Sabbath. He's saying, no, I'm here to make sure that you always do it. I'm the fulfillment of the Sabbath. So we can always do it together until I come again. And people are like, well, so why is it on Sunday? Why do so many people celebrate on Sunday? Well, it actually came back a really long time ago in our history when Christians started popping up. And they're like, oh, we're Christians. And the Roman government's like, we don't like you Christians. So we'll identify with the Jews. We're kind of Jewish because we do our stuff on Saturday too, right? So everyone was like, okay. But then the Jews got really rebellious, and they rebelled against the government. And they're like, no, we won't take any of this stuff that you're making us do. The government was like, well, we'll crush the rebellion. Not only did they crush the rebellion, but they started crushing the Christians. And the Christians were like, well, we don't want to be identified with this people. So they changed their day to Sunday. This was to distance themselves from Judaism, and also a lot of the pagans did a lot of their stuff on Sunday for sun worship. And so they took that and put it as their Sabbath instead of Saturday so that they could bring more pagans in and they wouldn't be identified with the Jews. So that's what they accomplished, and that's why it's Sunday instead of Saturday. So why should we do the Sabbath? Luke 4:16. When he came to the village of Nazareth, his boyhood home, he went as usual to the synagogue on Saturday and stood up to read the scriptures. Here it's talking about Jesus. Shouldn't we be doing what Jesus is doing? Why would we we want to follow the example of Christ. Instead of saying, oh, Christ did that, let's do the opposite. No, he went to church on Saturday, just as we should. In Mark 2:27, he said, then he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. This tells us some people are like, oh, no, the Sabbath is just for the Jews. That's not true. The Sabbath was made for man. It doesn't say the Sabbath was made for the Jews. Man is everybody. That's you, that's me, that's my roommate, that's my dad, that's my enemy. God knew it was good for us. He knew that we would need this rest day. And he wants to spend eternity with us. And he's like, what's one day to you? I hope y'all have a little bit more of understanding of the Sabbath. Thanks for taking your time to watch this. Bye.